Imagine digging through the dirt and finding the bones of a monster that never lived. Not a ghost, not a hoax, but a globally accepted truth that's never been fully proven. Dinosaurs. You've been taught about them since before you could spell. Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Stegosaurus. They've got their own movies, merch, mascots, and museums. But what if I told you it's all built on assumptions? Let's start with the most basic question. Where are the real bones? Because what most people don't know is this. There are no complete dinosaur skeletons, not a single one. Every display in every museum is a reconstruction, assembled from scattered fragments, filled in with plaster, and mounted using steel rods. And even the paleontologists admit it. Right on the plaques and placards it says, cast replica, partial fossil, reconstructed specimen. In other words, you're looking at a model, not a body, and yet we accept it as fact, without ever seeing the actual evidence. Let's go back in time. Before the 1800s, dinosaurs didn't exist. Not in science, not in art, not in literature. The Greeks didn't write about them. The Romans didn't mention them. No scrolls, no statues, no temples, no tombs. Not even a whisper in ancient China, Egypt, or Mesopotamia. But then, in 1842, a British anatomist named Richard Owen coined the term dinosauria, a name created before a single full skeleton had ever been found. And just like that, a new chapter of prehistory was born. Now fast forward to the American bone wars of the late 1800s. Two men, Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, locked in a vicious, ego-driven race to outdiscover each other. And in the process, they lied, they exaggerated, they fabricated fossils, they smashed bones just so the other guy couldn't find them. They paid people to plant remains. And still, these two are credited with naming over 130 dinosaur species, many of which were later deemed fake, redundant, or misidentified. These men weren't scientists. They were showmen, fossil frauds, and they laid the foundation for the entire field of modern paleontology. But the deception didn't stop there, because now there was money involved, big money. Museums realized that dinosaurs drew crowds. Colleges realized dinosaur grants drew funding. Hollywood realized they could sell the fantasy. And just like that, a billion-dollar industry was born. Dinosaur bones became investments. Their value skyrocketed, and the deeper the story went, the less anyone dared to question it. But we should be asking, why are dinosaur bones only found by state-approved institutions? Why are all the major digs run by people already tied to academic funding? Why are private fossil hunters demonized, rated, or ignored? And why are we never shown real-time, unedited footage of a full dinosaur skeleton being uncovered? Think about that. For something as monumental as discovering a 65-million-year-old species, you'd expect more transparency. But there's none. Everything is done behind closed doors, then announced with dramatic press releases. You don't witness the discovery. You're just handed the conclusion. Let's also talk about the absurdity of preservation. Flesh decays, cartilage dissolves, bones disintegrate, but somehow we're told these massive skeletons survived tens of millions of years intact, through floods, fires, earthquakes, tectonic shifts, with no contamination, erosion, or destruction? That's not science, that's faith. And yet they call you the science denier. Now let's break the fourth wall. Why does this matter? So what if dinosaurs are fake? Because this is about more than fossils. It's about what else they've convinced us to believe without proof. If they can rewrite history, they can rewrite anything. They can sell you an illusion and call it education. The dinosaur mythos is one of the most profitable lies ever constructed. It's not about whether big lizards once walked the earth. It's about the machinery behind the belief, the control, the money, the manufactured consensus. And here's the final twist. The most sacred of modern dinosaur displays, Sue the T-Rex, Stan, Triceratops horridus, aren't even their original bones. They're mostly casts, replicas, mock-ups. They've traveled the world as props in a scientific theater. And no one bats an eye. They've told you the Earth is billions of years old, that life evolved over eons, that reptiles once ruled the land, and maybe some of that is true, but how much of it is verified? And how much of it is convenient fiction? Final pause, cold and steady. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you, you've never held a real dinosaur bone in your life. And maybe that's the point. Last beat, almost whispered. Next time you walk through a museum, remember you're not looking at ancient history. You're looking at the bones of a very modern lie. You be the judge. If this made you question everything, good. That's the first step. Subscribe for more content they don't want you to see. And if you're ready to go deeper, sign up for the free underground newsletter. Link in bio. They keep the surface clean. We operate below it.